Good afternoon. I know it's a bank holiday Monday, but at the moment, who cares? I think every Monday is sort of getting the same at the minute, isn't it? And we just sort of think, well, it will make sense eventually. So I hope everybody's okay. We're all doing all right there. And here we go. Hey Pat, Sue. We're on tile number 27. And each time I do this, I think, oh my goodness, how many? When we first started, we were only going to do 12. Then we went to 24. And then now it's a case that let's just sort of see where it goes. Now, I know that some people were asking about another emergency kit for this, but you know what? I'm not going to do another because I think everything that you need is in that first one or two, or one and two. And then it's a case that we don't know how far we're going to go, so I don't know how many tiles to put in, or which pens and stuff. So yeah, I mean, if you need anything, tiles are all there on the website, and we've talked about pens and things anyway. So let's just not worry about that and just focus on what we've got. You know, if you've not got massive bits and pieces, all you need is these basics. Now you can see today that I've actually brought in my white pencil there, but I've not got the white tortillon, just the black one. So don't need much. Yeah. Oh, everybody's saying it's sunny outside. I'm inside. But I'm inside for a good reason, because obviously extended dispatch and all that kind of thing. Thank you everybody anyway for watching. And yeah, so I'm in here making books at the minute, and stencils and you name it. You know what it's like. So, okay. So I did say that we were going to work on our sort of a round stencil today. Now again, if you haven't got one, don't panic, you can sketch it, or you can do this as a square if you like. Just sort of follow so you've got the same amount of sort of spaces really. So we're ready then. Okay, around the outside I'm going to draw using a pen. Okay, now you notice I only said round the outside. There we go, in the pen, keeping hold of it. On the inside I'm going to go in with a pencil. Might come back and put that in pen length later, but for now just in pencil. So we've got that. Okay, deep breath, you've got this. All right, so let's sort of now put in some marks. So still with my pencil, I'm going to mark 12ish. That's just sort of dotted line, bring it down to the 6. Right, I know it's quite pale, but we don't want it to be too sort of heavy. Hey Julie, hey Garth. Oh, it's always hot in Cornwall, isn't it? I do like Cornwall, but I've not been for years. Used to have my ex-in-laws live in Cornwall. Okay, so I've got my cross there. So then I'm going to turn it round again, and I'm going to add another in. So in there. So splitting my space up, and those of you that have followed all the tiles so far, you'll sort of get the hang, and you'll get an idea of where I'm going with things. Okay. So then I'm going to go in and add one here. See, I'm doing sort of a bit of a dotted line just to sort of give me a little bit of an idea of where things are going. So yeah, this is going to be a little bit more intricate, I think, than one of these that I've done in the past, but I thought we could cope with this. We're all chilled out, we're all relaxed. We've got this, it's not a problem. Okay, so there we go. So if I count them, hold on, that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16 spaces. Oh, hello Nadia from Lincolnshire. Bedfordshire as well. Hello Stoke-on-Trent. Yes, know Stoke-on-Trent very well. Okay, so I'm going to go a little bit larger, because in the centre here what I'm wanting to do, and this is where these lines can sort of come and help you out a bit, is I want to put another bubble in the centre there, see? So I'm just using my guide just to sort of sketch it round. If it's, you know, not perfect, doesn't matter, whatever bubble is. There we go, so I've got a bit of a round in there. Okay. Oh, Bridget, that's good news. We'll make sure it gets there. Okay, so I'm going to come and do another around the outside of this one, but it's a little bit finer than that last one, a little bit narrower. There we go. Now I know I'm sort of, I've got the pace going a little bit here, because remember this is just a guideline, it's just starting us off, and you can always replay this back a bit later. But I do want to get to the end of what it is we're going to be doing. Okay. New barnet. Okay, hi there Karen, hi Kim. Okay, so I've got 1, 2, very far, like a narrow one, and 4 in the middle. So are we ready? Whew. Okay. Oh, Gillian, I know. You're going to love this one. Okay, so I'm going to work in the centre area first. So what I'm going to do, and again, notice I'm straight in with a pen. I'm going to mark that original 12 and 6. Hey Shirley, and that one. 6, so I've got that sort of cross shape. That's it, yeah, plain dots in the middle. Okay? So let's go a little bit bigger. Oh, it's not Bernadette. I've just marked a few spaces out, that's all. Okay, so all we're focusing on is this centre sort of bubble that we produced, and now I'm here and just working in this little corner section here. Okay, so I'm going to go in from that, yeah, I'm going to start here and I'm going to work my way up and round so it follows the shape there. So it's a bit of an odd shaped bump. There we go. And then let's just aura that round. There we go. And then same again. See, I'm just following it through. See what's complicated about that. Your shape might be a little bit different depending on the shape. Okay. Alright. Oh, okay, so you see here I've got quite a small, I'm actually going to fill in those 2 with that ink there. That's a choice decision. If you want to just do one, you can. If you want to do both, that's fine. Okay, so then I'm going to turn my tile. So I'm doing it clockwise, you see, like so. And then I've got the same here. And back up that line, round, and I'm going to follow the shape again, just as before. And then again, nice and gentle, I'm going to aura around that sort of whatever shape you find. Just keep it going. You see, when I get to here, so I'll make that decision. Am I going to go with that one or that one? Probably go with that one there and fill that bottom section in. Okay. All right. Turning it round. And let's repeat. So up here, round, and down. And again, just following it through. Just continuing that pattern. Well, it seems to be very sunny out there in lots of places. I'm ever so pleased that you're able to be out there enjoying it. There we go. Oh, it is, Caitlin, like a wonky rainbow. We've all been drawing lots of rainbows, so I thought this one would be quite a nice one to sort of do. I mean, it doesn't have to be the shape. You could do a nice perfect symmetrical semicircle shape, but do you know what, I quite like the character of this one. Oh, hey Miles. So yeah, let's do that. So there we go. So let's have a just a bit. Let's have a look at that from a distance then. Here we go. Okay, see, so there's our centre. All right, quite nice. Okay. So what I want to do now is I want to start around the outside edge. Okay, so remember we've got all these sort of points, haven't we, and all these marks. So if I go round just so you can see a little better, you see there where I've marked all those pencil lines. There we go. So I've got quite a few going on, but you'll see why in a minute. Okay. So usually at this point you'd think, oh, let's just do a zigzag, and yeah, we can do that, but I want to change it up a little bit. So instead of doing a straightish line, I'm going to start from here to this one. So I'm only working on that outside ring, and I'm going to do a slightly curved line. Okay, and then from here to here, a curve that way. So I'm going to work all the way around that outer edge, going from mark to mark, adding in that sort of curved line. See? Okay, same again here and here. So if I now move that out a little bit, you see what's sort of being created there? So I'm still getting a zigzag, but because I'm doing a slight curve, it's giving you a different shape. And again here and here. You see, this is where we put those grid lines in. We just wanted to have a bit of a guide so we knew. Mars, this is number 27. Okay. So it's the same zigzag there, but we've just done these little curves there. All right. So continuing with these sort of curved lines, I'm going to come now into this section here. So from this point to here, and again I'm going to do a curved line. Okay. And then from there to there. Okay. Yeah, it is 27. So then to here. Here, so you can see that I'm just doing the same as I did before, adding the curves and just following those marks with that pencil line that I did earlier. I'm just working my way around, creating that shape. Okay, so we're getting sort of like petal leaves, I suppose, all the way around. There we go. Just taking our time. Each one, and then to this one. So we've got that kind of a flower type shape there. Okay. All right. So just to sort of split it off a little bit more. Let's see. Let's have a look. Yeah, I think I have. See where I've got these big spaces here? What I'm going to do is I'm going to go from here to here, but I'm going to miss this bit out, so let's go a little bit larger so you can see what I'm doing. See, so I've got this guideline here, so that would be where I did that. So I'm going from here to here, but I'm just going to draw this bit, see? And you notice that time I did it straight. Let's try that. So from here to here. Okay, so I'm getting an extra zigzag line in, but it's going behind what we did before. And then this one here, and then from here to here. Oh, hey Denise. Okay. Oh. And then look from this point to this point. Okay. Keep turning. This one to here. This one to here. Same here. Okay. Just think we've done all this and all we had was a circular frame to work with. And everything else has come from your hand. Look at that. Okay, let's have a look at that then. Alright. Quite a bit going on there. Let's get some patterns in there then, shall we? Okay. One of my favourites, and I'm sure it's one of yours too. You see these sections here, they're just crying out, aren't they, for those lovely teardrop shapes. I always start in the middle, then to this side, and then to this side. And then I'm going to get straight up the centres of each, and a little dot on the end. Okay. My way around. So my next space, same again, some little teardroppy shape in there, and this side, on this side, and then in with those lines, a little dot. Okay. Now if somewhere along the lines here you've missed one of the steps, or you think, oh, I'm not quite sure there, then do you know what, doesn't matter, you can leave it or you can make up your own. It's just a creative way of splitting up that space, so we're not working just around a single frame. The results are going to be fab whatever you do, so don't panic if it's not quite gone to plan. Just take your time, work your way around. Okay, so you see now I'm just keeping in that, repeating that pattern, adding those dots. It does look mandala-like, doesn't it? There are stencils out there that you can actually create these, but it's nice sometimes, I think, you know, with a little one, just to have a go and do it by yourself and see what comes. You know, it's marvellous. I mean, what you've achieved so far and the work that's coming out now, I did actually think, yeah, we can do this. This is a walk in the park. It's just getting your head around that first little bit of working out the grid. So, you know, it's nice to sort of perhaps go back a little bit later and just watch that again, just to see where we sort of started and how we got to these shapes. Go. Yeah. I don't know. You've got pizza wedges in there, haven't you? Yeah, lots of triangles. Yeah. And sunflowers you can't eat. So we can get food in there somewhere. Although sadly none of those nice little tangles beginning with a Z. And where's Julie when you expect her to say the word? Eh? Okay. So just keep working my way around. See, I've got 3 in it. I think starting in the middle, it just means that you get them a little bit more evenly spaced going around the outside. There you go. Little dots in there. Following it through. Oh, Julie, see, where you were a bit slow there. Do you know, you could get some on the outside, but not on the inside of this one today. There's going to be far too many things going on. I really want to push the boat out with this and get quite a lot of different patterns in. Patterns we've done before, in some senses. But, you know, and just putting them together in a different way. It's nice to know you don't have to learn hundreds and hundreds of patterns. It's just mixing them up a little bit. Okay. So let's just go on in and fill in those spaces. Black pen. Again, if you've got a colour you want to use instead, that's fine. Go ahead and use a colour. If you want to put little bubbles in and then fill the rest, that's fine too. Although you do want a little bit of sort of drama, a bit of contrast, you know, a bit of that black in there. So it does need something, because otherwise you'll lose a little bit of definition later on. So let's just keep working our way around. Okay. Ah, Sheila, yeah, you do. And you know, the whole thing, it's not about speed, but sometimes, you know, if that's how you feel. But yeah, the more confident you get and the more you do it, that you do tend to pick up a little bit. So I've said before, when I'm doing these videos, you know, I try and keep it to an hour because you don't want to go on any more. So if I've got to pick the pace up a bit so I can get everything in, you can at least go back later and look at it if you miss a bit. So, you know, if you think, I don't know, it's going too quick, you know, just take a deep breath and just do the bits you can, and then go back and fill it in after. You know, you can stop me, you can pause me, you can mute me, just watch what I'm doing. So that's fine. Yeah, fast forward bits if you think, oh, I've done that, I know what I'm doing. I don't mind. Okay. See, already it's changed the way it looks, hasn't it? Just adding those little black sections in there. Okay. Yeah, it's looking nice, isn't it, so far? Imagine doing this on one of your wooden buttons. You could do it on any of the shapes. It's just a case that you split it up in a similar way. If you don't want to do 4 sections, you could do 3. I've gone quite complex today, as I say, because I think you can handle it. So I'm sure we'll be fine with it. Okay, just keeping it going, almost to that end. Okay, there's another set of stencils coming off our machine. John's working over there in the background, smiling as he does it. Oh, maybe not. Okay. Let's have a quick look at that. Okay. So there we are. So that's our first sort of little bits and pieces there. So let's move on to our next section. So I'm going to work on this one here now, this triangle. And you're sort of going to visually imagine a centre point, sort of. And let's go in and do sort of a triangle. And I'm going to almost go to the point. You see where it's not touching? And then another. Let's go a little bit larger there. And then let's do another. And another. Now, they don't have to be perfect shapes and sizes here, but it's just about keeping them separate from each other, you see? And then I'm going to go in and add a small one on the end there and just fill it in. And one there. Okay. Oh, sorry, Margarita. I say, you know, with the pace, there's a lot to get in, and I'm trying to sort of, you know, keep it going so we can get to the end. We can do something that's a little bit more complex, because otherwise there's no challenge, is there? But you can record me, and I'll say, well, play back and mute me afterwards. There we go. Just adding in those bits. Okay. To the next one, same again. So I'm doing that one first, and then coming in and adding the rest of those shapes. You see, they're not all the same, but that's fine. Filling that one in, just putting the shape in the bottom there. Okay. Let's have a look at that so far. So we're working my way around, same one here. And let's put in this sort of shape here. Working my way through. Okay, so there's my shapes. Yeah, that's fine. Sometimes it is nice to watch, I think, and see where it's going. And then you can digest it, and then when you come back and you do it yourself later, you think, oh, okay, I know where this is going now. So. I mean, when we're in class, I don't show anybody the end results. It's always start from a blank tile and just sort of go with it. But of course, when you're in a class situation, you can keep the pace because you can see whether people are keeping up or not. And I can't see what you're doing. Even then, sometimes, you know, you think, oh, let's just up it a little bit. Okay. Same with this one. And I think as well, once you see me do 1 or maybe 2 of these, you think, oh, okay, I know what she's doing now anyway. So you can go off on your own thing. And of course, we're all zoning out at different points. There we go. You see, even if you look at these from earlier and you think, oh, that wasn't quite level or even. You know, once you start adding more patterns in, it doesn't matter anymore. So everything becomes one pattern. You can, you know, define bits a little bit later. There we go. Okay. Last one. Oh, Tracy, that's a good idea. Yeah, it is. But the other thing as well, but if I just videoed it and then put it on later, you don't get the interaction. So, and plus, with a live video, I mean, I could record and do this for quite a long period, whereas if my video's too long, I can't post it up afterwards. So there we go. So here we are. That's our sort of outer circle done, except for these little points here. So let's work on these sections. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to ignore the centre and I'm going to put a line either side. Okay. Turn it round and a line either side. Turn it again. Either side. Now you see here I'm actually crossing, this is where our original sort of circular border was. But I'm ignoring that line now and I'm going across the two. Oh, Leah, don't you give John sympathy. He'll be expecting it all the time. Yeah. Yes, he is over there working, but then again, so am I. There we go. And again. Okay, so there we are. We've got that kind of shape. All right. Oh, hi, Anne-Marie. It's all right, catch up later. Okay, so looking at this one then, you see where you've got this sort of point shape here. Now, let's go on in and create another sort of line. See, I'm using the centre point there to add in those sort of little chevron shapes, you see? Okay, and then I'm going to add that little bit of sort of a quarter of a circle there, just filling in the tops. There we go. Okay. Knittings whilst watching, that's ace. Do you know, I asked my mum to knit me a cardi because she used to knit a lot actually, and I got her all the wool and the pattern. I said, Mum, knit me that please. She was like, yeah, okay. And do you know what that was about? 23 years ago. I'm still waiting, Mum, for my burgundy cardigan. So just carrying on up, same pattern, repeating over again and adding in those little points. Turning it again, same patterns, doing those zigzaggy lines and then putting that little, look a bit like I don't know, a shuttlecock maybe. I used to play badminton. Just have to fancy in there, don't we? There we go, all sort of lined up in rows. Okay, next one. Again, fill in those little points. Oh, I'm really looking forward to showing you the end of this actually and where it's going. Sometimes you do one of these and you think, oh, never in a million years, and you just add it up and do all these very small steps, a little bit at a time, and when you see the end result, it's pretty spectacular. I think you'll be impressed with this one when you've done it. And I think you'll do another. I really do. Because of course, the patterns I'm putting in here now, you don't have to do the same. You can mix it up and use whatever patterns you want to do, really. Oh, Leah, I know. Yeah, I do. I love my mum. I do, you know, she doesn't quite get the job. She's always worried for me. That's when I'm going to get a proper job. Okay. All right, so let's have a quick look at that one then. Oh, Cheryl, then you need to have another go at it. You need to watch this back and stop and start it. And trust me, just follow the steps, do it a little bit at a time, and you'll be absolutely amazed at what you can do. Honestly, you will. Okay, so I think for now I'm going to leave this one for now, and I'm going to come in and work sort of on this section here. So working my way from that, I'm going to, at the bottom here, I'm going to add sort of a little sort of dome type of shape, and then let's go ahead and put a line in and a little dot, you know, like we did before. Turn it round, and here, dome, put a line. See, it's underneath where I've done that striped line, and then again, dome line, little dot, and then again, little dome, little dot. Now these are, I think apart from the one in the middle maybe, these are all patterns. Well, even the one in the middle we've done before. They're all patterns that you've done before. It's just that they're all in a different sort of format. And it's interesting to sort of see how they come together. Okay. So now you can see here I've created a totally different shape here. Okay. So let's have a quick look at that. All right. Now what I'm going to do, I'm not going to work the same pattern in each one of these. I'm going to do a pattern here, leave one, same pattern, leave one, same pattern, leave one, same pattern. So start with that familiar old little dot and go round in a swirl. I'm not going to do these too big. I'm just going to go round and fill it with these little swirly bits. And of course any gaps I'm going to fill in with my pen as I go. You see? Okay. Yeah, Leah, any of the stencils that we've done using the mylar, which is, you know, like the creamy plastic kind of material, yes, you can emboss them. The only ones you can't, obviously, is the acrylic ones, which are like the clear, almost glass-like ones. I know the new stencils that we had on Friday, they're the same size as the original acrylic versions, so you could actually use them in conjunction with each other. So you could use the mylar ones to emboss, and then you could use the acrylic ones to draw sections in. Okay? It's all about giving you a bit of choice, really, and giving you that ability to a bit of structure, but then you can be creative as well and go and do your own thing with it. There we go. Okay, I am quite aware now that I've probably speeded up a little bit. It's just that, you know, there's quite a lot to get through, so I definitely want to get to the end of it. So you can see how to shade it and everything. Like I said, the patterns are quite familiar, we've done them before. So this actually is quite a nice one to do with coloured pens as well. See, noticed I've missed spaces in between, so I'm going to miss this one and do this one. There we go. You can't really see those original circles now, can you? They've sort of disappeared. I'm like, okay, well, how are we going to do that? Why draw them then? But great construction points, but we're coming back to them in a little while. Okay. Adding those bits in. And is there anybody out there that, so there's a few, that has actually really seriously done all 26 and put them in their journal? I can think of a few people that have. Oh, sorry, Rita. Yeah. I And do you know what, the same as that, you know, when you're sitting there in the studios, you've got your demos prepped and you just think, oh, I'll get through these, and the time goes so fast. Before you know it, you're like, oh, I needed to get that in. I must admit, though, on Friday I was quite insistent to myself that I was going to get all 3 demos in at the end, and I was quite proud at the end that I thought, yeah, I did what I wanted to do. I wanted to give you a chance to see lots of things, but you know, from start to finish. So yeah, it's a lot of time to prep for them, because you have to have more than one thing in the pipeline ready to go. But I enjoy doing it. Sometimes it just gets a bit tricky with the time. Okay. Oh, Sheila, yeah, you could. There you go. All right. So let's have a look at these other petals then. Okay. So this time I am going to put a line through there. Okay. Oh, Jackie, about to start your journal. That's exciting. There's always something nice about starting a journal, isn't there, or starting that page. See, I've gone stripes one side, and then I'm going to do the same on the other. Now, if you want to do wavy lines, go ahead and do wavy lines. Hey, one tile trace is better than none, isn't it? It's a start. I've run out of a bit of time, you know, getting my pages done, but my tiles are all in there, so I can keep track of what I've done. I'll definitely have backgrounds and things for them. Okay. Because, well, there's something really nice to look back on, aren't they? To think, oh my word, look at what I did. And I mean, if you look back on that first tile that you did now, do you look and think, oh, I could have done that better, I could have improved that? Yeah, Maureen, I know what you mean. The camera over there is quite far away, isn't it? And it's operated sort of remotely. You know, maybe next time I'll ask them if they can actually come a bit closer and see if they can do that. There we go. So there's my lines. All right. So we've got sort of one more space here. Now, on occasion, and this is Leah, but you know, just sometimes just watching, you know, is helpful, isn't it? So these spaces here, there's a couple things you can do. You could leave them so they're totally clear, and of course we could just sort of lose that line a little bit, and that gives us a blank space. You could go in and use coloured pencils and do the gem-like effect that we've done in the past, or we could go ahead and we could fill them in with another pattern. I think for this particular sample, I'm going to go in and fill it with another pattern. But it's going to... Oh, Carol, we'll get to it as soon as we can. Yeah, absolutely. We're just sort of finishing off making bits and pieces now, and then tomorrow we'll start to pack. Okay, so you can see here I've gone straight in, and I'm going from here to here. From an end outwards. And then from here outwards, from here outwards. So we all know and love this one. Our paradox is coming in outwards. You see, each time, starting point outwards, start out. So you're creating that same shape all the time until you've got no space left. So then here I'm going to do it but as a mirrored image. So I'm just going to start here as before and then pull out. From here out, see, each time going out, and because there's small spaces I don't really need to turn my tile too much. Okay. Oh, Deborah, no, don't worry about it, honestly. Let's come back and look at it as and when. That's why they're all on here. You can save them to your own space as well if you want, so they're easy to find later. So you see, from here out, I'm just nice and gently working my way around that space. Tell I've done that before. Turning around. So again, from the same point outwards. You see, then mirror image wise, same point and outwards. See, I've got a mirror image there. And then you work around as you're going. The same this side. They are, Leah, yes. People know I did this particular pattern. I actually I created a birthday card for Leah not long ago, which she likes sheep. So that was the main body of the sheep. I did it all in swirls. It was really cute, actually. Glad you liked it, Leah. There we go. Okay. Oh, did you, Kumi? Oh, are you sure? I did actually add extra stock on, so otherwise we wouldn't have had a last show. So no. And I do keep saying I need to sort of add a few bits and pieces onto my website. It's just at the minute, obviously, I've got to make sure that any orders I've got are fulfilled and out the door, so they're on their way to you as quickly as possible, and then I'll be on to them. And then of course it's the pick of the week in June, so I've got that to be working towards as well. So yeah, kind of keeping busy. There we go. Oh, last one. See, look how the time flies there. And as you go around doing these, you forget that everything else is there. You don't worry about the rest of the piece. You're just focusing on that section in one go. Okay, let's have a look at this then. Whoa. Oh, a lot going on there. Okay, one more sort of pattern and then we can get to the shading of this. I just want to finish around the edge. Yeah, or Carol, at the moment, I always say that because you never know. It's the 7th of June. I'm back in there. I really can't be in there before, I don't think. I've got a lot to do. So, yeah. So as you can see, what I'm doing now, I'm just going all the way around the outside. Oh, Vi, I can't, it'll spoil it if I tell you. You have to have something as a surprise. You'll know first though, of course. I'll show it here first, but well, not yet. We've got a bit of time yet. Let's just focus on what we're doing at the minute. And you know, you've got 2 new books that you've got to be playing with, and the stencils. There's lots to do. That. What did you think actually of the balloon inking through and then tangling on with the grey and the white, and adding pencils? Really enjoyed that. I'm going to actually make that up into a card, I'm sure. So, you know, when I get a minute, of course. Oh, I can't tell you. Can't tell you. There we go. So, I'm not worrying about the size of these. You can go larger and smaller if you want. You know, build up and add extra round, but we're not going to add anything around the outside. You could even put zingers in the corners if you insist, Julie. But we're not going to do that for the demo at the minute. Yeah. No, I think once I did that balloon one, you know, you just think, oh, I love it. So working with the grey, it was a lot softer. And just like magic, there we go. Alright. Okay, see, that just gives it a bit of an end. It just finishes it, doesn't it? Yeah, there we go. Oh, hey, Terry. Okay. So, deep breath, big stretch. All that pen work done. Just sort of give your hands a little bit of a minute. Ready to go? I'm excited about this bit. This was the bit that starts to bring it to life. And of course, we're going to go in with pencil. Okay. And can I just say, actually, I've just said hello to Terry. It's thanks to Terry that we got pencils in the first place. So, love you for that. Thank you. All right, starting in the centre then. Are we ready for this? Here we go. So, my line here, see where I've got sort of this little bubble here. And I'm going to go ahead and add some pencil to the section at the bottom of each one of those. Okay, just like so. Okay, Leah. I do. Oh, Rita, wait till you see this. Oh, okay. So with my tortillon, I'm just going to ever so gently, circular motions, just sort of pull that pencil out a little bit. You see? Same on this one. Just a little bit, not all the way through. Do you know, it's really nice that you're all excited about getting your parcels. We'll get them out as soon as we can, but it's just lovely to know that you're enjoying what we're doing. So it just makes our jobs worthwhile. So when we've had a busy day and we finally get home at about 7:30 after doing a 12-hour shift or whatever, and you think, oh, I'm shattered, it's just nice to know that people appreciate it. So thank you. Okay, so back in with pencil, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put some more of that graphite around, around the outside of that shape. I'm ignoring any patterns completely and just following that circular shape that I drew to start with, okay? Alright, so I've not been particularly neat with that, but it really doesn't matter, just getting some pencil in there. And then you can see here on mine, see that very faded line there? That's where we did that extra sort of bubble. I'm going to add some pencil sort of to either side of that. So I'm thickening up that line. Just turning my tile as I go, so I'm getting that sort of slight curve shape. Okay. Working my way around. Oh God, you've been spending money again. There we go. So let's just have a look at that from a distance. There we go. So you can see what I've done so far. I've done this and shaded it, but then I've gone around that shape, and then I've gone around this quite heavy with that pencil. I even add a bit more there, see? Okay. So now, you might have sort of lost that original line. So there's my stencil again. I'm going to put it back on. And remember when I said I might come back to pen a little bit later? I'm just going to draw that line back in with a pen. Alright, so you can sort of see it there now. Okay, let's put that down. Back in with pencil. And if I do it a little bit lower so you can see, I'm going to go either side of that line with pencil. See? Again, I'm not being particularly neat, and I'm putting plenty down there. I'm not being shy with it at all. Okay? Alright. Working my way around. And again, all those patterns underneath, if you think, oh, some of them weren't quite right, doesn't matter anymore, because they're all forming part of the same pattern. There we go. So see, all the way around there. Through this way, okay. Oh, there you are. So you can see I'm doing the same thing now, and I'm going around the outside. I'm not touching those little bubbles that I did earlier. Going in and filling in all the way around the outside frame. Straight over all those lovely little patterns that we've drawn. It doesn't matter. Straight round. Just keeping it going. Okay, so let's have a look at where we're at then. Here we go. So I've got pencil around this one here, this one, and this one. Okay, deep breath. This is where we're going to make something of it. Okay, so it's going in a bit bigger. So working from the centre, this one here, I'm just going to go very gently, swirls around that shape. I'm not going to go into the middle. I want to try and keep that light area if I can. So I'm just almost just stroking the paper just to keep it in that place, but softening that edge. Okay. Same with this one. So I'm going to meet it, but again I'm wanting to leave that white of the paper there, ever so gently, working my way around. Okay, so you can see I've got that white edge or white centre. Right, same on this one now, so I'm going to work my way to the outside, just smoothing it, keeping it away from the centre. nice and gentle. All the way round. Okay. And then this one I'm going to come in towards it. Just nice and gently. There's no need to sort of press on or anything. You've put enough pencil. I think this is something that I've noticed when people do these, is they don't put enough for that graphite on. It's got to be quite strong so you get the overall effect. So if you're not quite getting the dimension of the 3D, maybe you've not put enough pencil on. Okay, same on the outside. Okay, just nice and gentle swirls. Saying you're just letting the tortillon move that graphite around, you're not trying to push it anywhere. Oh, it is. I love doing these, and you know, you've gone to all that effort and all that work to get all these patterns in, and now we're covering it with all this pencil. But honestly, it'll be worth it. See, just smoothing those edges off, keeping that centre without any in there. Okay, just working it round. And I suppose the beauty of this as well, if you think I haven't put enough pencil on, then you can always go back in and add some. So you've got to see how it looks. Okay, alright, now let's have a look at that. Okay, what do we think? So we've got this sort of slight sense of 3-dimension here. You notice that I've picked up my white pencil. On the outside here, where I've got this sort of line, I'm going to go in and accentuate that line. Okay, so I'm pressing on quite a bit, and you notice that my pencil is sort of sharp, and I'm going all the way around that section there. Just gives it that little bit more light, doesn't it? Look at that. Whoa. Same here. Now, I'm not going to smooth this out with a tortillon, which is why I didn't have one with me at the beginning of the session. We don't need to. We just want it as the white highlight. There we go. Wow, look at that. Okay, last one is in here, look. And this is why, you remember me saying about having that dark, if you've got some darks in there and you've coloured some in, this is where it's going to come to light a little bit. Okay, not quite done yet, but we're almost. Look at that. Okay, back in with a pen, and just to sort of finalise bits, I'm going to come in and thicken up that middle shape there. Going round with the pen again, literally, and just sort of adding a little weight to it almost. Let's fill in those little bits. Okay. Alright. And then again, remembering where that centred line was, I'm just going to go back in, around, just to accentuate that a little bit. Okay, I'm not gonna, oh, shall I? Yeah, I'm gonna go in and add that other one. You know where we put that first line in? Just to separate that, and it's sort of in between these two lines here. Now, if you're not quite sure, you could always go in and just do this with pencil. This is where we had that narrow sort of board, if you remember. There we go. Trying to work out where it is between the camera and the... Okay, alright, so let's have a look at that. So, working alongside that, you've got this now, this dimension, so it looks like it's moving with the light source. If you go in and you work a little bit longer with it, and you add a little bit more pencil now to the outside edge, you'll start getting it a little bit darker, and you can start to bring this bit even closer and even lighter. But I think for now that's probably as far as I'm going to go with it. They're just lovely, aren't they? I just love doing Zen buttons. There's my initials. Okay. So you can see that that's the one we did today. I did actually do this one. It's in my journal. So you can see very similar. I might have changed the patterns around a little bit. Not much though. But you see that my little V's are going up rather than down. But yeah, it's never ceases to amaze. I absolutely love doing Zen buttons. And so it's a case of now have a bit of a play, experiment with this one. If you put slightly less of the grids in to start with, you can do that. Now imagine doing this. Oh, I don't have a sample. You know, with the original circle acrylic stencils that I did and the squares, you could do this on a large scale using those. Imagine doing a really big one. And I did do one, actually, it's on my Facebook page somewhere. It was an original mandala with a gem in the middle. That would look absolutely beautiful. There's one thing I would suggest is I wouldn't perhaps do this and go on to black tiles. I'd stick onto the white because I think you get more of a dramatic effect with it. But by all means, give it a go and try it. And, you know, pick on different tangles and look at what we've done in the past and bring them in and add things to it. What I would suggest is anything that you do and you try is don't sort of keep it in rings. So you see where we did this pattern here and we've gone on just one border. But this, we took it across the 2 rings. That's what gives it a better effect, is just actually merging the 2 or 3 together. So have a play with it. I know you're going to love this one, and I know I'm going to get some fabulous pieces of artwork coming in from you. You know, try and add a little bit of gem with it, a little bit of gems, a little bit of glitter maybe, and you'll absolutely, each one astound you, and you'll think, oh my God, I drew that. So have fun with it, really have fun with this one, because I do, I love doing them. And all being well, I will see you back here on Wednesday at 2 o'clock. Now, in terms of tiles, I don't know, maybe, yeah, maybe we'll use a coloured tile, I don't know, use what you feel like. I'm not quite sure yet. I've got some ideas in mind, but I'm not sure where I'm going with them. So that's sort of formulating in my head as we speak. So be prepared for anything, I think that's what we'll say. Make sure you've got a few coloured pencils with you. Make sure you've got your regular stuff, and we'll see what happens. A bit of a surprise, okay? So take care, have fun with this one. And I will see you all, however virtually, on Wednesday at 2 o'clock. All right, have fun, guys. Bye.